those responsible will be brought to justice.
The deadly blast that took place in India's national capital, Delhi, near the iconic Red Fort, has resulted in 8 lives, at least 8 lives being lost. But it has also thrown open a Pandora's box. The terror module linked to the Delhi blast has exposed a much larger conspiracy. The sources say that the terror module has targeted major religious sites in Uttar Pradesh, particularly Ayodhya, and also certain key locations across Varanasi, including Kashi Vishwanath Temple. And this comes as the suspects arrested from multiple locations are being probed in connection with a powerful explosion. Now, the group allegedly intended to carry out a major explosion in Ayodhya, where a sleeper cell apparently had been activated by Dr. Shaheen Shahid, one of the arrested accused. But before the plan could be executed, a series of raids and arrests by the anti-terror squad and the local police led to the recovery of the explosive material and also the unraveling of the entire network. The sources revealed that the terror network was also planning attacks on hospitals and other crowded public areas to cause maximum damage. Now, the accused reportedly maintained a list of some high footfall locations, and that includes the healthcare facilities which they intended to target in the near future. The security agencies are now examining communication records, digital trails, and also links between this module and other terror outfits that are active in northern India. The investigators suspect that the blast near Delhi's iconic Red Fort was not the part of the module's original plan. According to the initial findings, the explosive device lacked a timer or a remote trigger or even other aspects of a bombing that would suggest that the explosion may have happened accidentally or in haste. The sources believe that the suspects were possibly transporting the explosives when the device suddenly detonated prematurely. Now, the investigation has revealed that the bomber was under pressure and may have panicked after the recent police crackdowns across multiple states. All right, now joining us on the broadcast, we've got a retired Major General Neeraj Bali, who's a Sena Medal and an Indian Army veteran, and a director of the Gyan Chakra think tank is joining us live from Chandigarh in India. General Bali, thank you very much indeed for joining us here on WION. Now, what do you make of these reports that are now coming out that this appears to have been a much bigger plan, where the blast that took place in Delhi, it's just that it happened perhaps in error, and the place where this blast happened, resulting in the deaths of 8 people, may not have been the intended target. What's your assessment?
I completely agree, because when you collect 300 kilograms of ammonium nitrate, pack them up in suitcases, then you need far less to create mayhem anywhere. And when you, over a period of time, collect 2,900 kgs of explosives and material, obviously your goals are far more than just what happened. And I think I tend to agree with one view that maybe this was a premature detonation. Maybe this is not what it was intended for. But on the other hand, we also must be careful in assessing this, because the car and the bomber, Dr. Umar, they were parked for 3 hours, very close to the site, waiting for something, waiting for the nightfall, waiting for the evening, waiting for more traffic to be generated. Having said that, I think the larger question or the larger lesson we all need to learn, and I'm sure our security forces are well aware, is that when you crack a module or when you get some initial leads, do not treat that as a final win on that module.
Right.
Sometimes the mere fact that you've got a few people in the bag may hasten their actions, like it's happened in this case. So every time this happens, we've got to treat this as a beginning, and immediately a big alert should have gone all over the country. Various things should have happened. Anyway, that's an afterthought. But I think that is the biggest lesson from this blast.
Indeed. Now, General Bali, the reason why it is being said that perhaps the Red Fort, the iconic Red Fort, the area that was targeted, may not have been the intended target, is because there was no timer, no detonator, and no shrapnel that went off in this blast that happened at near the Red Fort. Now, the other bigger question is also this: 2,900 kilograms of this explosive device. How is it possible that it could be brought in a manner such as this without it being detected? What do you think is actually happening here, and why do you think an act such as this is being attempted?
I think the ball has been dropped on several counts, and I will say this quite candidly. You are absolutely right. When you collect 2,900 kgs of material, which is all meant for prosecuting violence, and you raid the very university just 2 or 3 days before that, and not a single individual, not a single faculty member, not a single person flags to you that there is something untoward, or there is there's some people with suspicious behavior or radicalized behavior, that tells you a lot. I think the institution, I'm not going to say, I'm not going to implicate anyone in this because I'm not at all in possession of any evidence.
Right.
But I think the institution has a lot to answer as to how is it that so many individuals working in one place and storing stuff in one room rented apartments which were given by the university itself. You know, the university is, the college is located in Dhauj, and these places which were raided where the explosives are found are either in Dhauj or in Fatehpur Taga, which is barely 2 kilometers from the place. So this supply chain business really needs to be investigated.
Right.
I think people have to be sensitized that anybody who sells material of this nature, if something goes wrong, they'll all be accountable. The second and the last point I want to say is that I understand ammonium nitrate is not completely a banned subject. Of course, it's a controlled item, but I think we need a better handle on it. We need a national registry of chemicals. We need this flags to go up, red flags to go up when people are buying it in large quantities or any quantities if they are not supposed to be buying it. I know this is still done by an Aadhaar card and so on, but I think we need a far better handle on how we sell these chemicals which can be dangerous.
I think you've raised several important issues there. Thank you very much indeed, Ms. General Bali, for joining us with that perspective there.
Thank you.